and hit the go live button for me to say the following as we go live. It says we're live, so let me switch over to the script and read out the words I say every week and they somehow occasionally get wrong. You are listening to Let's Go JoJo, the weekly JoJo's Bizarre Adventure podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne.
Hello.
It's Niall.
Howdy.
And it's me, Brian. And on this week, we are covering the anime that aired the week of the 8th of October to the 14th of October. And it feels like we watched all of it, but we didn't. We probably did not even watch a quarter.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of anime.
But we also watched a couple of things which aired on Netflix a few weeks ago, starting with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6, Stone Ocean, Episode 19, Birth of the Green, in which Jolene gives birth, sort of, partially, to her own grand uncle or something. I don't know exactly how it would work.
Well, there a Joestar might be a green baby growing off a thing like a vine, a little gremlin, but it has a birthmark, so you're related.
But before any of that can happen, Anasui asks Foo Fighters is like, hey, do me a solid, trip up Jolene on the stairs there, just a little bit, not enough to hurt her, just a little bit, as a prank. It's
a wingman.
It'll be cool.
Yeah.
That was very dumb. I'm glad the episode started off very stupid. So yeah, because he wants to catch her in his arms because he doesn't think she realizes that I saved the fucking day there, like no one else did.
Nope.
Oh, and we do catch in on Jotaro and how he's doing. Not particularly well, but it does explain why they didn't remove his hat in a medical situation.
It's kind of a little bit throwing back to when we first manifested Star Platinum. He was locked in the cell. It's like, I remember those days from that thing with us to kind of lash out at anybody and get stuff for him like Shonen jumps and boom boxes and stuff. To be young again.
It punches anyone who messes with his hair hat. So yeah.
Oh yeah, well, is it a hat? Is it hair? Well, now we got him in the lab. Let's find out. Oh no, we can't. He's defending himself somehow. And also harkening back to fucking when they were doing the Freddy Krueger baby thing, because it fucking shatters the glass. And the glass shards are kind of carved into his arm, Jolene, and then their psychic link across like hundreds of miles. That same like carving of the arm gets in on Jolene. Everyone's saying, "My father was trying to speak to me. We must hurry and get that bone."
I did as soon as I saw that happen. I did say baby stando to myself, and then there was a Lelo fucking later. Kakayin lives on. It's good to see. Yeah.
The scarring thing feels scratching at the back of my mind as being something straight out of those early 80s like books of psychic phenomena and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's definitely a horror film that's had like a message appear in your arm, that kind of thing.
Yeah, again, like just with what was kind of brought up there with fucking Kenzo and Dragon's Dream. There's this fucking this thing where it's like, no, it's like a little bit down, and it's like, no, that's enough to kind of trigger the stimulus to make you like simulate like you're drowning. He obviously was reading a lot about hypnotic suggestion and how, like, if you do, my imagining, if you believe something hard enough, you will actually literally manifest that thing to the extent you will like physically change like things about yourself. That will come up later.
Yep.
So keep that in mind. He's obviously reading a big book about that and it was just lodged in his brain. He had to get it out in a large comic form.
Instead of Jolene falling into Anasui's arms as a prank bro, she spies the little man with the bone and she tries to swing off him like Spider-Man with her thread, but he's getting away. That little man's getting away. Wait, he's not so little anymore. His spine appears to be elongating. That's not good. And also there's a tree growing out of his face. That's not good. I really like the effect of his eye turning into a flower. I thought that was really...
They really go for it there.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Like when all the dead bodies are kind of turning into plants. Like it was like kind of like the opening to Mob Psycho when it was just like things keep morphing around. It was a lot like... But it was also like very unsettling. It's a bit like it got like the fucking... You get to kind of time that photography of like, a flower blooming, but also like things that kind of rot and decompose. It's the kind of like strange like frame rate to it. It was pretty weird. Bizarre, you might say.
So they're trying to figure out who's got the bone. A green baby in a pod has the bone.
It's getting away somehow.
And Jolene like negates away the star birthmark it has on its back through its see-through pod. It's just like, well, that's like what did you say? Like it's like when you see a gourd that looks like a pair of tits, or like a carrot that looks like Snoopy. I think it's her two examples.
Those are two examples. Yes.
Weird fruits. No, if you saw like the face of Christ and a piece of toast. You know?
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't go straight for the vegetable that looks like a penis, because most vegetables do at some point in their life. Yeah, very odd. But the problem is, the closer she gets to the setting sun light coming in through the window, the more plants grow out of her, and that's not good. She's like, I'm just gonna grab that baby. I think that has something. I think that baby's important.
Yeah, it's basically can't let White Snake get hold of this baby, so that's the main reason for her to grab it.
It's worth a few flowers sprouting out my skin for that to happen. Yeah.
Then they run into what's his face, don't they?
Guccio.
Yes.
And they ask him some questions to determine whether or not he's an enemy stand user. And Anasui gives him a rub down, counts how many ribs he's got, and then sends him on his way.
Yeah.
Then D&G, Dolce & Gabbana, is watching from around the corner. You know, these are to be seen in the conspicuous gladiator helmet. And eye patch is like, if an enemy stand user is sent to take out that Jolene Cujo, there's some weird fucking shit going on down, but I got a job to do. Oh, there's Guccio. What's up with him? He's like nodding or right, so he's just kind of wandering around. You know, he's got this, hey man, what's up with you? What's up with it? And then, ka-choom! The trap! It rearranges like his ribs into a bear trap inside him, and he just takes off a big chunk out of his arm, and this big tough stand user goes, oh god, my arm! Oh Jesus!
I feel like that's the correct reaction from someone in JoJo that we haven't gotten in the longest time. So Gucci was compelled to walk outside, and also for his ribs to become a bear trap through hypnotic suggestion, and also I assume some diver down shenanigans. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyways, when they're outside, one better like get the fuck out of here. Like hey, I know there's probably like an aeroboat somewhere around here. Let's go stow away on that. And a strange little goblin man says, "I can help her out with that." Blah, 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 blah.
He's very helpful though. He makes a chair. He licks your shoes. He stinks. He stinks like the high heaven.
This is Yo-Yo Ma.
Yeah, his head is also shaped in the same shape as D&G's helmet. So
yeah, the biker helmet. Yeah,
more like a pineapple kind of man, a little pineapple man.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then he eats the baby.
You little fucker! You gotta get out of the boat and say, "No, I want to help you. Get out of here. I can do the boat here. The airport is how it goes. This is fun." Oh, okay, well, you know how an airport works. Okay, I'll get you out of here. I can do whatever you want. It's like,
because their initial plan is obviously the guards are going to come, see that all the prisoners in this ward have turned into fucking trees, and they're going to have a bunch of questions that we don't have time to answer. All right,
okay.
Foo Fighters, you stay here with that weird little goblin man who has the baby, and see if you can get that baby out of him. But then the weird little goblin man goes with them because you're my masters, he says to them, and that kind of thing. And
we better get out of here. We can kind of start out this mess later. The guys will be here in a second, Okay, FF, you go and fucking let's like run interference on that and cover our tracks. It's just like, okay. And it's just and while they're speeding away, FF is just, don't trust him. Wherever you do, however helpful he seems, he's bad news, everybody. From watch out, because we cut to everyone, half her fucking faces melted off in a very like gory fashion.
Seems like he took a bite out of her lower jaw, so she's just missing most of her bottom of her head. Yeah.
He seems all helpful, but he's most like the kind of help and they don't kind of want. Is just like you seem good intentioned, but you keep fucking things up to a deadly degree.
Yeah. It's good. It's weird. It's gross. It's your JoJo. Yeah.
It's bizarre, you might say. It's mysterious. Yeah. It's more kind of a transitionary thing. We're getting out of that one same situation into the other one like that. But it's like some good little bits. Again with the fucking. It's just really throwing some like strange stuff at you, and you're just kind of we just gotta kind of roll with this because fucking times are wasting. We got to fucking like track this thing down, but so fucking dead vampire's bone is arch enemy of my dad. We gotta find it because it gets this green baby in it, and then like it makes people turn into plants, and then this one weird goblin man appears and saying, "Okay, let's just sort this out later, okay?" It's been a really weird day. Just got this escape from maximum security wing in the prison. I'm very tired. If my plans go out me already today, I've holes knocked in me. I just want to go home and go to bed and put all this thing to rest. It's like at a certain stage. You say prison changes, and once it's not quite like the outside world. I can see what they mean.
I hope not. Prison's crazy, man.
How is this supposed to rehabilitate? How is it supposed to make you like pay debt to society and put you back out as a well-formed civilian?
I'm really going to need either Dwayne to talk a lot louder or Niall to turn his microphone down a bit in Skype.
I'm going to move closer. Now I'm bigger.
Okay.
Sorry, dude.
Back.
Niall is smothering. I didn't mean just saying smothered everybody else as well. For whatever reason.
What's more to you? There we go.
Right,
Good night.
Okay, there we go. Okay, let's see how that goes. Righty, I've just edited the episodes from 4 episodes ago, and I could not get Dwayne loud. That's why I'm worried about Dwayne being so quiet in these mixes.
Why am I so shy? I can't fucking tell. It's weird.
Okie dokie. Righty ho. That's that taken care of. Then it is Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Where stay. Yes, where David is tumbling into cyberpsychosis. Faraday is
everyone can
sides.
see it fucking happening, but nothing doing. Yeah.
It's waking up at night, just staring at the telly.
His shakes are getting under control. That's good. I don't think they are. Yeah.
He's wigging out, man. Fucking used to be rock solid. He would be leading this gang, but everyone's worried. Everyone's worried about you.
I do like the thing of seeing Faraday's bosses, and it's like he's also. It's like, oh, after you fucked up that job, Faraday, you better get this shit in order. It's just like there's always like a bigger fucking fish that you have to pay. I did enjoy that. It's just like, yeah, this 4-eyed menacing man also is in the shit.
Yeah, I probably should have had to go at that with it though, because it's rare to see a Giancarlo Esposito voice character or actor character feel in any way like on the wrong end of things. He feels like it's the kind of guy who's always on top of it.
Yeah.
It's just even mildly perturbed or worried for his situation would be something to listen to.
When they look at the other list of fixers who they're going to shake down to find out which one it is who's working for Militech, I think they're all pretty much ones from the game. And Arasaka are also after Lucy. And by the end of the episode, they've got her because Kiwi betrays the group. Or perhaps was never in the group at all in the first place.
Well, she's all about business, like as well. She's kind of so this operation's going to hell in a handbasket. Fucking like I've already lost one unstable leader, and this next dude is going the exact same way. I'd rather something that pays out more consistently and more and less risk to me. I mean, my last boss punched my fucking face off, so I don't want that happening again for sure.
And part of me was thinking, did he punch her face off for justified reasons? Was she getting further in with Faraday and he didn't like it, or was that just cyberpsychosis?
I don't think it's anything like that. It was because he was his face clapped off because she was gone mad, and she's just said, I'm just rethinking my allegiance to this outfit. We've had some time, we've had a lot of good laughs, made a lot of money, killed some people, but I think it's time for me to consider my options here.
I think this is the most you get of Kiwi in the show so far, because she's
wait. Mouth, point it to the microphone.
Sorry,
you've got it off to the side.
This is the most you get of Kiwi out of the episode so far, because she does a lot of voice chats with our main girl and that kind of thing, trying to bring her back into the fold for obvious reasons. Then she has to do so by force by the end of the episode, or force and trickery. Yeah.
They were fun laying on the cyber slang there as well in that conversation, because
they were,
it's almost like it seems to be very involved to just repeat every second word you say, make, I guess, for emphasis. I don't know.
But I guess it's like two hackers having a conversation, so they know all the lingo that kind of way as well.
Yeah, maybe it's all some future lead speak.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, for like David's feeling the kind of just the Shakespeare. I really love how you see it come. Like we've seen like a lot of cyber cycles and how they're just wigging out and just killing people, but you're seeing it like from his point of view and the horrific visions that he's experiencing. Like they bring him in under the dock when he goes way off it, and this dock is just like, no, hey man, fucking you've gone too much fucking chrome on you, and then just to kind of he's right up in his face, and he keeps getting more and more fucking crazy with all the eyes sprouting out of it.
I really like we seen that one job they did at the start of the episode go wrong, where he kills the guy at the head of the research center and also some woman who was working there late at night. And then we see that like in multiple points of view. We see the CCTV footage, and then we see what David fucking saw. His psychotic break as he was doing that job. And I was like, that's really interesting to see the one scene from multiple perspectives, just to see how far gone he is. Yeah.
And just like his mom, because she also had like a son, like roundabout when his age when he got into the school, and this is why I signed up for a man. I'm not slipping. I'm going too far.
So by shooting that woman, did he create another him? Is this just a self-perpetuating cycle? That kind of thing. Yeah.
Becca's got his back though, because she's saw what happened to her brother before and saying, man, like, I'm just worried about you, fucking. I'll like let me do all the fucking hard work for him, and maybe you should kind of like take it easy for a while. I got you. Don't worry about it. Thanks, Becca. That's solid. He probably is trying to make a little move on him there under Lucy's nose, but yeah, sure, whatever. Well, Lucy's trying to talk him down at that point, saying, "Come on, man, come on. If I really care about you. You got to back down from this." All the while, though, she's not backing down because she's fucking taking out, covering up every loose end, like a tie what she knows back to him.
And that kind of they show it really well in the conversation where she's trying to bring him back from the brink, and she gets a message alert. It's like, hey, there's a guy you need to go murder, and he's like, I gotta go, I gotta go. Sorry.
Which is shit, like when she says, "Oh, like David, please stay with me," but saying I have to go, but saying why do you get to go? When it's me, I have to stay. When it's you get to go whenever you want.
And the way the conversation was turning, like she's like, you have to trust me, and then she's like, okay, you gotta trust me. I can't explain why I have to go right now. Bye. And it is a
Spider-Man gambit.
Yeah. It is a trap for her, designed by, I presume, Kiwi, in order to get this elite hacker back on the payroll, or back on the job, I guess. Yeah.
Well, they've sussed that someone is just like stomping out anybody who gets like even a sniff of what they dug out of your man's head. So somebody out there knows, and we'll get close to it now. And it's probably just Kiwi's probably noticed too fun saying, haven't seen Lucy in too many jobs. And after that one, after he found like hacked that dude's brain, I wonder why. What does she know? So
yeah.
Maybe some name. I kind of figured as well. This looks very, very well realized world, and almost like going on for it. I think I kind of get as well why it looks so good, because they animate the cars. They don't CG them. There's a car chase in the middle of this, and the thing. Actually, yeah, that's right. All the car chases, all the cars are animated. That's something you don't see too often these days. That's probably why this is really comes across to me in a good way.
Yeah, car chases and nipples. Those are the two things it's got that you don't probably see in animated states.
Yeah.
That's what they do. Is this a lot of what makes good animation is having, not necessarily the resources or the money. It's just someone who's just mad enough about it to actually draw multiple thousands of pictures of it. So
yeah.
Tits and fast cars and guns and women and blood and things like, oh yeah. This is like what they're best at.
Not just because it's a cyberpunk thing, like all that rest of the stuff feels like the 80s, and I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. It speaks to me.
Then on to another dystopia. It's Pui Pui Molcar Driving School, episode 1. The episode is called "The Buildings Are Falling Down." And why the buildings are falling down? Well, all El Molcars, Shiro has recovered from being turned into a zombie. There's a whole concatenation of events which causes all the buildings to fall down, and then all the Molcars and their owners are taken to court. And they have their driving licenses withdrawn, and they've got to go to driving school to learn how to drive again. They are sent to driving school by loading them up into a big pet carrier on wheels, which is then towed by a single Molcar.
Yeah, it's back and with strength because I was just like, man, I missed this. This was great. This was great. Yeah.
The judge, with the comically large gavel, it's
Yeah,
bigger than
yeah.
he is.
Yeah, the shot. Yeah, it's the shot of them in the courtroom, like the darkened courtroom, because they don't have to use many props or
Yeah.
give the impression. But yeah, it's just a really great shot. Because it's humorous that you'd bring cars into court in the first place, and then it's even more humorous that they're guinea pigs as well.
And it's not just like the owner's licenses. It's like the guinea pig is the picture on the license. So
Yes.
presumably they have to have a license to even fucking drive around town themselves as cars.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what the big hammer is for. It's like, this is why I do your licenses are revoked.
And I guess next episode we'll find out how it goes on their first day at driving school.
Yeah, it's still just as good. I didn't think they would come around this quickly again, but it is the exact same caliber of content, the exact same caliber of stop motion animation, the caliber of hijinks. It's the blessing. It's a blessing upon our world, and like if it was, but things are getting wedged in. It's like a year's worth of great things in like a single fortnight. It feels like this is welcome at any time of the year because it's just two and a bit minutes. It's fine.
Yeah.
So I just got lost in the shuffle.
Then we got Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai, episode 98, Dai's Decision, and first of all we check in on the fake hero and his party as they struggle to freeze up their bomb because, oh my goodness, there's a monster waiting for them. Have they revealed before that the wizard in that part is the brother of?
No.
This is new information.
What's his face? Okay.
It's a brother in the sense that we went to magic school together.
Yeah, but he's his big brother in terms of he was the older, more didn't get kicked out of school student. Yeah, but he's understudy or whatever of
your
Matroff.
video was frozen up, Dwayne.
Is it?
You're looking very stern-faced at us, like
you're
voice.
So cross. What the hell? All right, I'll fiddle with that a little, but not enough to do anything bad.
Yeah, it's just a serious, man. It's like, okay, fake heroes party, enough fucking around. It's time to step up. This is actually kind of real, like, life and death, world-ending shit right here. I'm out of magic because I'm an old, dying magic man. I saved rats from the griffin. So, come on, like, fake wizard, or you gotta be a real wizard. If you care about anything and there's anything great and good in this world, you're gonna fucking like freeze that fucking bomb and save everybody. All right? You're not fuck ups. No, you can turn your life around. It's never too late.
And so they do. They freeze it. Hooray! Magical brothers reunited. They're quickly back. Let's go check on Vern. And they're like, "Oh, Vern, where's your speeches now?" And he's like, "Yeah, well, I'm thinking. Yeah, you've defeated me. And so what am I going to do now? I'm going to have to slaughter you guys and then start again with exactly the same plan."
Yeah, because you forgot that I lived for a very long time. You beat me this time. Just give me a couple more centuries. I'll give it another go. You'll all be dead. Either I kill you here, you're all going to die of old age anyway. So, it's not straight off my back. It's just like, oh, this fucking dude, this fucking guy. It's just, he was not fucking, like, let it off, will he?
We get to say goodbye to Gobi-chan as well before that bit.
We did, yeah.
One more time. Wring some more emotional baggage out of that before Dai has to make his decision, which is, okay, you guys get back. I'm going to use my full power. And Vern's like, what the fuck, you not been using your full power before?
So that's something I would never do, because put my crest on my fist so I don't get like hypnotized by the dragon power.
It's like, I recognize that I was only using 10. I was using 10 out of 10 on my own crest, but my dad's crest I was only like using 3 out of 10. And so I'm going to unlock that to 10 out of 10, and then I'm going to go and become a Dragonoid and kick your ass, Vern. And Vern's like, okay, bring it. I will bring it. I'm going to bring it. Look, I'm bringing it.
It's fun. This what you want? This what you want, motherfucker? You know, when you want to fight, I'll fucking fight you. I'm going to throw away everything about my own humanity. And it's just like he's punching the shit out of him. It's what you want. It's what you want, you son of a bitch. Because
it's like
tears are in his eyes.
Like,
he's
is this what? Yeah, you said power makes justice. He's like, does this feel like justice? As he's pummeling him, and I was like, that's a great line. Saying, does this feel like justice? Because he's like, it doesn't feel like justice to me. Does it to you?
I'm gonna fucking kill you now, man. I don't feel good about it, but you just will not stop. You're just like an insufferable, relentless asshole, and I have to fucking put you down. And I don't want my friends to see this. No, well, you've made a bash into a pit anyway, but I want them to see this now. I want to see this fun side of me, you know, because this isn't like me, and it's fun to think, no, Pop, no matter what you do, you'll always be my friend, you'll always be our boy. It's like, I hope so, Pop. So I'm gonna kill this motherfucker. I'm gonna fucking do him fucking in good. Just you see or don't see it. Look at me.
Yeah. And it ends on a freeze frame of the pair of them about to punch each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a real kind of fun tease and everything. You know, they're gonna fight, and it's not gonna be cool. And they don't even like have the fun title card or like the eye catch as well, which has like, you know, the kind of, even though now it's too dramatic like fanfare, it's like, nah, we're past that now. This is end game. This is all it takes. Gomei-chan is gone. Fucking die. Is going to make someone else die. That's not him. This is what we're going round in the bend here. But so much should be set up now. He's gonna fucking kill the shit out of Vern, and that'll leave us like one more to kind of just the victory lap to
epilogue, see where everyone is at the end.
It's good. Like it's just like it's very stirring, and even the stuff with like the fake heroes party is just so funny. If you believe in anything great and good in this world, you will fucking freeze that bomb. Okay, you fuck up heroes party. You just like do something good with your life. I know you can do it. I know this is like you're better than this, and it is like, you know, putting it up, you know, fun. Those fucking ne'er-do-wells, those fucking malcontents, they have more humanity, they have more compassion than this asshole, this fucking absolute wanker of the fucking like leader of the Dark Army.
How's it looking at your end, Dwayne, with the camera?
I'm fucking trying, man.
You might have to leave and rejoin the call or something.
I have a dumb idea. We'll see if that works.
Okie dokie. While you're having that dumb idea, it did not. You're still frozen.
Great.
Well, before we mess around anymore, as you're the one who's going to talk about Detective Conan with me, let's talk Detective Conan. So this is episode 1059, Okino Yoko and the Locked Attic, Part 1. We open with Kogoro stuck on the toilet because he hasn't got any toilet paper. And he's like, oh, who can I call? And then he finally concludes that he'll call Conan. And apparently this act is a vital clue in how they figure out what happened in the crime they're about to solve. Then we learn that 2 hours earlier, he ate out-of-date butter sandwiches.
Very important fucking plot point. Yeah.
And his client is the idol Yoko Okino, who occasionally shows up in the show. She's got a job, an acting job. It's her first dark role on TV. She's going to be playing a ghost. And Kogoro's like, I thought you were playing a detective. And she's like, yes, I'm playing a ghost who is a detective. She solves crimes in return for people recovering body parts of her corpse.
Yeah, they find another bone of me each episode so I can finally be put to rest.
And so
it's a very complicated plot point that Candace obviously like. That sounds fucking terrifying. That's the scariest show I can possibly think of.
Yes.
It's good stuff.
Yes, so she's been scouting for locations with one of the producers, and they went to the producers. It's not his family's villa, it's his sister's husband's family's villa. So they went there.
Yeah, it's a complicated series of family. Yeah.
Yes, his sister's been missing for 2 years. At the villa, also staying there at the same time, was the brother-in-law's younger brother, and the younger brother's wife. Then
her producer, wasn't it?
And the producer. So Yeah, so during that time, the brother-in-law went missing. They found a trail of blood. Then Yoko's like, "Oh yes, I should have mentioned everybody apart from me had got an injury."
Every like the oh god, hold on. So the brother-in-law had a sprained wrist. His
Yes,
wife had
a
a
hernia, and she's in a
hernia, so she was in a
wheelchair.
wheelchair, and the producer had crutches because I think he
Sprained
got
his
somebody's leg,
ankle. Yeah,
sprained his ankle or something. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So everyone besides her and spoilers, the murder victim is basically injured in some way that's going to limit their mobility.
Yes, they were going to split into pairs, but then they got a phone call. Well, no, it was a text of a photo of some playing cards arranged in a peculiar manner, and it was like multiple decks of cards had been used because there was like
Yeah,
piles which had got multiple 6 diamonds in.
I was
Um,
trying to remember. I think there was 4
oh,
ace of hearts and
no need to
5
remember. I've taken a screenshot so I can talk through the
2 of hearts, was it?
clues.
No, 2 of diamonds and ace of hearts. I think it was
Uh,
multiples of. Oh, for
let's
fuck's
take a
sake.
look.
Ooh.
In demand there. You're getting photos of some cards coming through. Yes, there's an ace, a ace of hearts, 2 of hearts, 2 of clubs, and 2 of spades in one
Hmm.
pile. Then there's a 3, 2 5 of hearts, 2 of diamonds, and an ace of clubs, and piles like that spread out on the floor. Oh, there's like a ghostly image coming through now rather
Oh,
than a Dwayne.
spooky ghost.
Ooh.
Great. That's a good job,
Ooh,
camera.
ooh, ooh, ooh.
All right. Let's
Oh,
figure
there.
oh.
Oh, now you're coming
Ah!
sideways.
Now hang on. I'll figure this out. Why is it doing that, camera?
Jesus, he's doing that thing where he's crawling on the ceiling on his back. Oh.
Spooky as shit. Yes.
Yeah, so they assume he's in the attic because that's where the brothers used to go and play cards because their parents wouldn't let them play cards when they were on holiday here. And that's where there'd be loads of piles of cards because they always brought a
Brought an
pack
extra
with
deck in
them,
case they
and
were
then
out. Yeah.
left them in the attic. When they got to the attic, though, the attic door is locked, and when they call the police, because also the window is locked on the outside of the roof, and they discover the brother is dead, having been shot by a crossbow bolt. And
So he's shot by a crossbow bolt in the back. The attic's locked from the inside. The window was locked from the inside. So it's a locked room mystery.
yes, which Conan says, and Cocker is really annoyed because he was the one who wanted to say locked room mystery.
Yeah. And they're like, it's not really much of a mystery. He obviously got shot, bled down the corridor, went into the attic and locked himself in there, and then signaled to his brother through the use of playing cards some sort of code that is just like, hey, I'm in the attic, come get me. I mean, like, I guess cards in that house would mean something to his brother, but obviously the pattern of cards they assume means something as well.
Yes. The crossbow was found outside, and at this point, while Kogoro is stuck on the toilet after his stomach starts upsetting himself from eating those.
He's been on the toilet the entire episode up until when it did like the flashback to how he got stuck on the toilet. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's been most of this is he was on the toilet, then
Hmm.
all this explanation is told to Kogoro, then he has to go to the loo because that's when Kananori Wakita
Yeah, that's
comes in.
right. You're right.
He sticks his nose in because he's brought some sushi because Kogoro mentioned that he might want to order some sushi. But he
Sushi for
never,
2.
yes, for Yoko, and he never got in contact with him, so he made the sushi anyway for 3, brought it in, and so they all eat the sushi while Kogoro's stuck on the loo. And yeah, this is where we get the cards in the attic. The nickname that the little brother's nickname that his big brother gave him was Ace. He says he's
so you played baseball. I was like, yeah, I was only a catcher though. I was never a hitter. So
never a pitcher. Yeah, never been a
Ace
pitcher. He
probably to do
says.
with cards then, I guess. Yeah.
The missing sister / wife. They've got photos of her, and she just before she went missing, she started wearing sunglasses. Then we learn that the little brother was in love with the missing wife, but because his bigger brother married her, he married the sister's best friend. So then
God, yeah. So
Kanedora is
everyone
like,
has a motive,
so
basically.
everybody's got a motive, yes. And they're like, and who are you? Oh yeah, I'm the local sushi maker. Definitely not suspicious in the slightest.
I'm a guy who lives downstairs with one eye. Nothing to
Yes.
think about.
Yes, I'm just one of 3 suspects for rum. And that's pretty much it. And then next Conan's hint is mahjong. So clearly those are mahjong hands made with
So I will
with
never be
playing
able to figure
cards.
this out. Not
No.
that I'm very good at figuring these out at all, but it's just like, it's a mahjong reference. So I was like, well, I don't fucking know how that works, so I'm fucked.
Yeah, I mean, now it's like, oh, he's made mahjong hands, but with playing cards. What that means, we'll have explained to us next episode. But there's some good animation in this, and then there's some really off-model distance drawings of Conan.
It's like a long shot of them just standing there talking. It's just like wildly off-model. But then, there is some good animation.
Yeah,
so.
the close-ups are good, but yeah, you say the room shots is a bit wonky. So wonky-looking Conans and Rans. Next on the list is Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun, of Season 3, Episode 1, The Misfits Class's New Term. Which
That's
the
what I forgot to watch. Damn it, I knew there was something.
Well, quick summary then. They're big heroes now because of what they did at the fair, but get into class because as you're in the Royal One, is that what it's called?
The Royal One, the biggest classroom in the school.
That means you get special tutors. You got to do classes commensurate with the position of being in this class. So they brought in these tutors to raise your ranks.
Weirdos?
Yeah, many weirdos you've seen before and a few you've not.
Excellent. Fucking A.
They also have been doing the thing like you have to reach not just the next rank up in your your demon level. You gotta reach right to the top. Like we're fucking just below the fucking demon king level is that, which is a big task to do in a single term. But that's all right. We got special tutors, as you said,
Yeah, and they're also the Harvest Festival's coming up. That's the other bit of information.
So they have Halloween in hell as well. That's good to know.
Yes.
Makes sense. Samhain's a fucking hellish fucking time of year, so yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Dwayne, mouth, point it at the microphone again.
God fucking damn it. I've moved my head because I've moved my entire self trying to fix it. All right, there we go.
There we go. That's much better.
I will eat the microphone.
Excellent. Yeah, so that's where they are. So they get split into pairs and each given a tutor. And everyone's like, wow, that's a great tutor, that's a great tutor, that's great. And then the last 2 left are Iruma and Lead. And they're like, oh my goodness, we're going to have the miserable form tutor tutoring us. And he's like, no, I just assigned the tutors. I'm not tutoring you. You get Robin, the cheery new teacher who he hates as their tutor.
Brilliant.
And so while everybody else has got sensible things, they're trying to one are going to become the best uses of their blood abilities. 2 of them are going to become the sexiest demons they possibly can, which is the Succubus and Valak, the 2 who are going to be trained to be the sexiest beings they could possibly be.
Remember, Clara's sexiest quotient according to this is you're about as sexy as an infant.
Yeah. No, I think she's less sexy than
she's
a baby.
Less sexy.
Because even babies are born with a certain level. It's like you're below that. Too innocent and too pure. Purer than a baby?
Well, sexy would say more charming or appealing.
Yeah.
2 of them are going to be the best fighters. 2 are going to be the strongest. 2 of them are going to be the best summoners.
Okay, so sticking to their strengths. That's good.
Yeah, well, sort of. And then Lead and Iruma are going to become the gutsiest.
Okay.
Which they're just going to run around and chant. But luckily, Robin's like, I know I'm not up to this task, so I brought in my sister to come and help you. Do we get a name?
Balshock, because it's this name of the next episode, Master Balshock. She's just very pink, big hair, whereas otherwise the delinquents are, what the fuck are you doing here, huh? It's just I'm gonna have fun, whip you guys into shape, and also do all my stuff for me, carry me around, get me drinks, get me snacks.
Yes, Machiko. Yes.
So by guts just mean just like get a cop an attitude. No one won't want to mess with you. That's what I'm going to teach you.
Older cousin,
Okay.
apparently, from the Barbados family. Yes, so yeah, she makes them carry her around, and then she's like, "No, that's not good enough. You need to be cuter." Dresses them up as maids, gives them new names. There's a very good. The feminine name she gives Aruba sounds like Illuminati. It's a fantastic pun. Whereas Lead just gets called Lindy. And
Did like post credits scene, the Suki Mavericks you got on, and it's just like it's like just putting on girls' clothes, and then Rumo's just like, okay, I'm done. You think looks like you've done this before, Ruma? It's like no, it's just this comes naturally. Yep, that's fine.
Yes, the other new tutors are Lady Vipa, who is a crybaby. She's the one who's going to teach them how to use their bloodline magic.
Like how's like the beautiful eyes and things, but the massive like duckbill.
Okay.
Some kind of kappa type of job, I suppose.
General Furfa, who is one of the great heroes of a battle.
He looks like a typical 7 foot tall red devil horn type dude, but it seems to be very, very nice. Otherwise, besides that,
and Mr. Hat, who,
gentleman with a monocle,
yes,
yellow suit, hat, yeah,
and he knows Kamuy's not Kamuy's secret. Kamuy's the owl. Karori's secret.
Karori's secret.
Yes.
I know you're a devil idol. I don't care about any of that, but this will help you become a better devil idol. So just stick with me on this.
I've spoken with your manager, so it's like fully signed off that learning to summon things better will help her in her pop idol career. And also, he's not going to tell Kamuy this. Also, he calls them Lady Karori and Gentleman Kamuy, and then immediately shortens it just to single letter
G Kamuy.
And the manager is M, whatever the manager's name is as well. Nothing suspicious happening yet, so it's just a load of new weirdos, and also splitting all the characters off into interesting pairings because they're not necessarily the characters you've seen paired up in groups as well. Oh, and Iruma messages
Emery.
That's her name, the would-be girlfriend, saying that he can't come and do the readings, the manga readings, because he's got to practice with his tutor.
But this is that bit in the romance comic where the dude had to fly space and be an astronaut.
Yes.
It was a very long-running series.
That happens, it takes some strange places. I guess Dr. Stone figured it out. Why not? It was popular at the time, so we had to kind of latch onto the popularity.
It's a shame the band who used to do the music split up, because I don't think the music's quite as good as the first two seasons. But generally, yes, it's Iruma-kun. It's pretty much exactly as you left it.
I tried to sort of like the very and this quite as coming back around this time of year as well. It has that's like that version of hell that is like the kind of the plastic decoration version you'd buy in the pound shop kind of thing. Everything is very, very luridly colored. It feels kind of plastically and cute, but it's just why make it Halloween-y? Fun. It's got bat wings and devil horns. It's got more than two eyes. Ooh, it's so creepy. So they're all named after actual demons you can summon from the lesser key of Solomon, and that this is the lore is very deep in it. The way it's presented, it's kind of mismatching of tones. But yes, it's all very cute. But they're still singing the school song that to go to school. Whoa, we're gonna eat all the humans. They taste brilliant because we're devils. La 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 la. And
the character design of Machiko lends itself to some funny drawing. She is a funnily drawn another gremlin creature. But yeah, it's like Clara's a gremlin, but in this, Machiko also has a gremlin energy, but in a completely different way. Particularly when they draw her with very rubbery limbs, is quite humorous. Then we've got Spy Family, episode 14, Disarm the Time Bomb. in which Yor has shown up to rescue Anya and the large white dog, hasn't got a name yet, from the kidnappers. She beats them all up, ties one up, calls the police, wants to chase after Keith, but she's like, no, can't leave Anya alone. But then
she's being very official by ringing the police and saying, yeah, someone tried to kidnap my daughter and marry her. That's right. A dog saved her. And we know the dog's going to be fine because we've seen him in the intro. It's like, the dog's going to be fine. It's like, but the dog has a vision of a potential future where the dad isn't in the picture and everyone looks really sad. And they're like,
Lloyd will be killed by a bomb. And so
I actually did get very sad at that. It's very because the dog is involved as well. It's just like, well, I want this dog to go to a happy home. I don't want everybody to be super bummed. Yeah.
So Anya's got a plan. She tells Yor that, oh my goodness, Daddy forgot his toilet roll. I've got to go get some toilet roll and take it to Daddy.
He has been in there for a very long time, you know. It's almost 5 in the evening now.
So they get to the location where the bomb's going to go off, and then we run into the problem that Anya knows it's going to go off when the big hand is at the top. And then she's like, hang on a second, I don't know how to read clocks.
Wait a minute, I'm a baby and have a baby sense of the world. So she has to ask a kind old man. It's like, excuse me, what time is it now? And what time is it when the clock goes bong, bong, bong?
It's
okay, it's about half an hour.
And
30
how
long is half an hour?
Yeah. It has to be 30 minutes because then she doesn't know how much 30 is because she also can't count. Yeah.
I thought to be something there fun thing, but 30 minutes is about long average episode of Bond, man. Is.
See, that with ads, I figured she'd figure
I've got that long. Yeah. I've got that long to do it.
But they find the bomb. They discover that it's set up in a door, so it's not a time bomb. It's a booby trap in their last hideout. So Anya climbs inside, thinking she's going to disarm the time bomb. She's seen it done on TV so many times. She's going to pull out the red and blue wires, and then she gets there. It's just black wires. Oh my goodness, what are we going to do?
I hate real life.
There is a bottle of ketchup, so they draw a warning on the door.
In blood.
Yes.
So it looks scary.
No.
Meantime, her dad, instead of pretending to be on the shitter, he's actually going around town busting up all these little revolutionary wings. They just have one more to check on, and obviously this is the bombed one. And I did appreciate the other guy who's like, "What is that? Like a parsnip on the door? I don't fucking know. That's weird. I wonder why someone would draw that."
It's like, you know, it's rightfully goes if no, something seems off about this. Who would spray a door with ketchup? I put it out this one saying, oh yes, like no, it's a little up to the whole thing. Just like no, that's a little bit of a mirror, just to kind of see. Yeah, there's a bomb in there. That's it. Okay, so somebody had her back here. I don't know who, but somebody. So
it is fun as well because you obviously they know that some other shit's up, and there's still Keith, the revolutionary leader, is still in the wind. So the minister of theirs that's checking in on them is like, where the fuck is the spy agency that we have set up in this country? What kind of fucking jokers do you have working for you? That kind of thing. So yeah,
he comes back out and it's just like, okay, you have your Oscar ready for you, sir. It's like, I'll take my own car, thanks. Wait, what? Oh, I'm good. I'm gone. See you later, everybody. Meanwhile, that's Lloyd in disguise. He's trying to lead the Keith away because there's one bomb dog remaining, so that's the one he's going to set off at him. And it's like, yes, there he is now. He's trying to, am I here right now? Trying to escape into that warehouse, you know. Okay, dog, go get him. And he's like circling around. And then Lloyd, disguised as the foreign minister, he's doing fucking mad backflips. It's fun. Holy shit, it's foreign minister or something else.
What are
he might be like in his 50s or some shit. Wow, he's keeping well.
Yeah, just running along the length of a skinny wall and that kind of shit. But Lloyd's just trying to lead the dogs into a place, like I think it's the docks he's going towards, where there'll be less casualties if shit goes wrong.
It's also it's where he's trying to get like a beating up. It's just kind of just trying to get it into like a narrow alley, and it's just like, okay, dog, sorry, but this is for world peace, and I think he's not gonna shoot that dog. Make his daughter sad.
There's a lot of threat in this one because obviously Lloyd was initially trying to lead them away so that the two guys that was with him could catch up on Keith. But they get like hit by a grenade. But you do see like the parachute come out, like the guy drags his friend out of the exploded fucking car from Keith throwing a grenade at them. And I was just like, Geez, there's a lot of threat in this. I sometimes forget that this show is dangerous, but no one's gonna really get hurt unless obviously yours.
Oh,
Them.
well, shit, the
And-
fucking interrogation, sure, when they're being arrested them. And
that was very
they're
good.
all like, fuck you, pigs, the fucking glory to the revolution, fun. And then the handler was just like loading her gun. Have you ever actually killed anybody? Have you ever smelled burning flesh? Have you seen, like, chunks of your loved ones fly past your face?
Have you ever had to
didn't think so.
eat a tree to try and stay alive? Have you ever tried to eat a corpse to try and stay alive? Because, yeah, they don't teach you shit about war in college, huh? Okay, cool. Good to know.
Yeah, and they give him up right away.
Yeah, that
She's
works
scary.
Yeah, so the cliffhanger is will Lloyd shoot a dog? That is where we left. Then I'll tell you somebody who might shoot a dog, and that's the girls from Pop Team Epic Series 2.
They would definitely shoot a dog. I mean, like she's very prone to what is it? Peaceful violence.
Yes, especially if that dog wanted to debate her. So Pop Team Epic Series 2, Episode 2. Here we go. Biggest McHugeGuy combination. So sketches this week. We open with Pet Salon, Space Neku Company, animating, in which Popoco's working as pet salon. Someone brings in their dog. She shaves almost all its hair off, and then tells the owner that it had died.
It's a very straight gag, but it did make me laugh twice. So yeah.
Then we get the new OP. I like in the first half, it's the leads from the first Full Metal Alchemist. And they've got the deeper voiced Roby Park doing Popoco's voice, which I found funnier than having them the other way around, which is what they do with the lads. We get the new OP, the new opening, which is great. It's like this recursive imagery. So they do an action, they move on to another action, but they leave the previous action behind.
Yeah.
Until everything is just an insane collage of these two girls doing the same loops, or loads of different loops over and over again.
Yeah, it's almost like kind of a Syriac-esque kind of a thing.
Yes.
It makes it full, like,
Oh, God. What if,
snaking.
They should tap him to do one of these as well.
Fucking do it, yeah.
No, he'd be on top of it, yeah.
It would be freaky and good.
Still time, you never know.
Then
There's a lot of episodes to go.
Well, yes, because we get a few new people on here, such as Toshiyuki Ayama, with a parody of the Pixar ident, and then a CG version of the Head Pats sketch. Which, they're pretty good CG models they've made of the girls.
It's weird because they're so like plain and simple, and yet they lend themselves to highly detailed CG models somehow. Good job.
Well, but they've already produced like the Nendoroids of them under AutoCAD and stuff.
Yeah.
This is how it works in 3D.
Yes, it works. It's not a Peppa Pig situation. Where that was material cut out of my Chibi panel, where I was going to compare Peppa Pig to Egyptian hieroglyphics, but I never got around to it.
Wow, education.
Dear.
Because there were some hieroglyphics where they draw the eyes on the same side of the head in the same way that Peppa Pig's drawn. So it all connects. Caricatures. Then we got Sayar from Kamikaze, where PVB's trying to feed Popoco, but it just keeps on rubbing the food between her teeth and her lips.
Sticking it in. It's like when you're eating like a bag of potatoes and the sharp bit, you go right, sharp right in there, and then oh shit, that's the way you chew your food.
The other Kamikaze sketch this episode is a guy wants to debate Popoco, and she's like, "Why can't we settle this with peaceful violence?" As she pulls out a baseball bat with nails hammered through it. And then she beats the shit out of the guy with the baseball bat.
That is how you handle debate.
Coming to a Hell in a Cell promo near you.
Then we've got Akbu, where we see a giant meteor versus the Leggy Arts, and the great angle that PVB's Leggy Arts have. Is it going to be able to take out this great meteor? Giant meteor? No, because while they're coming down, she's kicking at the same angle as the giant meteor, they are running
They're
perpendicular,
to each
parallel
other.
with each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, and she just gets hit by the meteor.
Hmm.
What a shame! It was a great angle.
Would have been sweet though, right?
There is the return of Kazuki Sekiguchi with Pop Team Cooking. This time they're doing Darkness Cooking.
Ooh.
We got the samples right here brought in by what was her name? I can't remember the evil name she was given. Yeah.
Oh, the evil paper. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
She's like dressed in like a visual K type outfit. And we don't get to see what this Darkness Cooking is, just the reaction of the co-host of how fearful she looks looking at this Darkness Cooking. Then it's another B-side from Keiko Matsuda. This time it is Gapal Rice, where Popoko offers... Well, no, they've got different names in the B-side. I can't remember what their male names are.
Like Popuske and like
Yes.
Pippi Maru. I don't know. No,
it's barely masculine.
Very
Rice.
generic.
It's great.
Very
Yeah.
generic.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this was funnier because of the more realistic Rice. It got me to chuckle anyway. So yeah.
Then we've got Junichi Yamamoto with a sketch about Earth No Mats, this anti-mosquito device that the girls have invented.
And the promotional anime, I guess.
Yes, they got a promotional anime, and then the guy who they're trying to sell it to is not interested, so they switch it on and they discover that he was just a giant mosquito all along.
Fucking knew it.
A plant.
And then we get, here we go, Biggus McHugeGuy combination by a mysterious director and a mysterious animation studio. Who could they possibly be?
Who knows, man?
Maybe the belt buckle on that giant robot could give us a clue.
You don't think about pulling out sponsorship of Pop Team Epic because they will fuck you up.
Well, they seem to enjoy it, because we have entered this era, I think, where brands are on social media and they have like weird sense of humor, where they're making fun of their own product, and now this is just like the grand like evolution of that, where we're gonna make like this is gonna be a cartoon about it. Not just any cartoon, this fucking multimedia, fucking multidiscipline cartoon, and we're going to get a classic mecha animator to do it in his particular style, all the kind of motifs you expect out of it, lavishly done, all to rip the piss off our sponsor.
Yeah.
It was evil giant robot, and we are the good giant robot, and we're going to combine and take it down because they're holding us down, man.
Like the jokes of her gaining her robot persona kind of thing. It's like, you dare stretch our budget at this late in the anime? And it's like,
we can't keep making nobody do this dumb shit for us like
you
this.
You think we're finished? We're doing a combination now, and it's just like, oh my god, no, the budget. That's what's really ruining King Records, the evil King Records, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they might come back to this in the next episode as well.
Like that, it's because it says this is going to be the last episode of it. They've ran out of fucking budget, but let's see what that show looks like without a budget. That might be fun as well.
It's just like there is like the different ways you kind of render them. You can kind of stick to here's a little there's a little one, here's a kind of taller one. But just to see like you can just render them all in completely different like styles together. And they've done the giant robot version for you in the B side of it. But it's like let's keep like interpreting this, keep like feeding it in, see what comes out, and then reinterpret that. Because again, like there's
like the
enough...
opening, that recursiveness,
yeah. So just keep making like fake versions of this cartoon. You can't say it's impossible to say what one thing it is. I went to like an anime themed karaoke thing with a London group there just the other week, and someone threw on like the opening to this because it was on one of those lists, and it's just like, what the hell is this? And it's just like I was trying to like get it in 20 words or less. The dude sitting next to me was baffled by it. It's like. It's an absurdist. I don't fucking know. I try to fucking sum it up. Like, no one can be told what Pop Team Epic is. You must see it for themselves.
And then we get the what's it called? PPB's. It's either called PPB's Room or the Shit Show. I think this week. in which they both kind of discuss like getting free copies of it and what you should spend your money on instead of buying this on Blu-ray.
Like, dude, it's streaming. You don't have to buy it on Blu-ray. Come on.
You can spend
But
the
you
money
won't
on
be around
Yakult
forever.
instead.
Yeah. You can buy
so-
an island though. Yeah? Send it to
Yeah.
my island. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
the guys, the guys who do the voices on the second one, they're known as a pairing because each year they do like a live show. They release a DVD of together where they do
Okay.
sketches on stage with other voice actors. So that's why they're paired as opposed to necessarily being known for being in roles together. It's more. There was one like that in the first series as well, wasn't it? Where it was just like, oh, these are two voice actresses who are known for being best friends. So.
Yeah. The only crossover I can see with the lads where they've actually acted and animated together was they were both in Kinnikuman 2, aka Ultimate Muscle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Poppy and Mac it for this week. Right, quickly moving on so we can get all this finished and wrapped up. We've got, oh god, still so many. Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury 2, Cursed Mobile Suit. I did not watch
this. Anybody only one?
I watched it. I caught up on it, and that's one of the reasons I forgot Iruma-kun.
Okay, well, we'll
you've
just do it
frozen-
quickly.
You've frozen up again in almost exactly
I
the same
know I've frozen up
pose.
again. I'm trying to fix it.
Very
but
smart.
God damn it.
We'll try and rattle it off quick. It's just like, okay, episode 1, first day at school. Episode 2, imprisoned for war crimes. Your mobile suit is completely illegal and banned by certain conventions, so you're like going to jail, lady. And
I did appreciate the whole thing of it's like Gundams are super banned. Like initially the kids are like, "Whoa, it's painted like red, white, and blue." I guess it's French. I don't fucking know, because they don't know what a Gundam is because Gundams is illegal. But the other thing of like the like a mysterious stranger shows up in a mask in a disguise, and it's just like my suit is totally legal, you guys. Put in the court, and I was like, this is the most suspect fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
it is like, so she's been summoned, like it's been made by like this, like the Shinsei conglomerate to like bottom up like the table in terms of like big robot sales, but they've made one very good robot, probably be like illegally and under wraps, so they kind of summoned her for this tribunal where they're going to decide if we're going to sentence this girl to life in prison or not, and destroy her robot. It just says, so this Gundam you've made, it's like according to our readings, no, it's very Gundam like. Which goes, what's a Gundam? That is not a Gundam. That's just a Gundam shaped different giant robot.
It doesn't use Gundam technology. No. This uses drone technology. And they're like, drone technology? It's like, that's right. Very old-fashioned, but we've managed to get it working in a brand new way. As you can see, everything we've done is totally above board. And I haven't just shaved the serial number off this Gundam that we made.
Are you being serious? I'm being deadly serious. Check it out. Like a robot arm, a robot face, because around Mercury, the gravity is, the magnetic field is so strong, you can just lose fucking bits of yourself and get fucked up. So I would not lie to you, like esteemed council members. No, this is nothing like this. Well, I'm the president, so I say fuck that. I'm going to dispose of that robot. And then Miurin comes in. She's the president's daughter. She is like the bride who keeps being thrown around here, saying, "Dad, fuck you. You're going to decide everything about what everything to do with my life. Telling me I should get married to this guy, I should go to the school. I want to play piano, but I can't do that either." I'm saying, no, you're not going to go and do this. And like, well, I'm the president and your dad, so I say fuck that. And then the great one said, no, hold on, let her speak. Because this is the father of Jet Turk, who was the cocky dude lost to do with, and because the results were voided at the back of this. Doesn't mean that he lost. Doesn't mean that he won either. So he's got this whole pride thing, what the phone saying. Because if I get this thing overturned, my son can kind of compete again, and they can kind of uphold the pride of the family.
Yeah, he'll never have the loss on his record. But the dad's kind of like, well, the only people who are allowed here are the shareholders and the people who are literally on trial. You have to leave, daughter. And she's like, nah, I'm going to use your rules. I challenge you to a robot fight. Because that's how it works.
Yep, that's it. Now, so for now, boys will be boys or girls will be girls. She's allowed to stay in school for now, and we'll settle this via an honorable duel.
She's on double secret Gundam probation, but we'll see if she fucking doesn't get kicked out of school.
Yeah, probably the guy do it against the robot who we see out in space. Just dice up some mook suits in a very satisfying manner. We're getting bits of the tensions as well because she goes, oh, that girl kicked out of school. It's just some bumpkin from Mercury, fucking just she wouldn't belong here to begin with, And then some of the students who are from Earth, let's say, or some other kinds, have a bit more of empathy for. But they're just getting a hard time as well.
If you're from Earth, you're a second-class citizen in space.
Hey, Earth, for get the fuck out of here! I'm going to spit gum into your food before you've even finished it, And there's a little group here. There's Nika, who's a bit more level-headed. No, she actually lent her student ID to Soletta so she could actually get into this fun and get out and go out and do the duel to begin with. And then a girl with enormous big pink pom-pom hair. Oh, who's named Choo Choo. Because remember, this is Mobile Suit Gundam Utena.
Yeah.
So there's going to be kind of ones in her corner, one backing her up and bigging her up. There's some kind of tensions there. No, it isn't even if you're from Earth, and Earth and space. Also got to be from the right part of space. Because if you're from Mercury, if saying that fucking backwater where the fucking no one comes from, yeah, of course we want to do anything about that. This is also where you get your Shakespeare's The Tempest illusions come forward because the representative with the mysterious mask is named Prospera.
There's a big trial. There's a lot of trickery.
Yeah. Wait, stick your mouth at the microphone because you're very quiet.
Yeah. Hello. How's it going?
Yeah. They refer to her as well as a witch trial. She's on trial as a witch.
Keep calling her a witch. Yeah.
She has strange powers. Fucking no normal mobile super loose to a Gundam like that. She obviously cheated somehow using her dark magic of floating lasers and beating the shit out of that dude. Yeah.
It's still pretty good. Not as much robot fighting, but still very very strange world that they've crafted. I'm curious to see where they're going with it.
Yeah, it's as well Mirin, she's trying to be the cool beauty, everyone's fun. They come by giving her a hard time about fun. Well, that girl, the fucking fun stuck her neck out for you. It's gonna let her phone twist in the wind. The fun saying, well, if you came by to fix up my phone greenhouse, fucking do it then. And from pretty much might I'll kill you. Trying to be all kind of cool like that. But she's immediately in the toilet on the phone, looking up phone. It's come on, some information on this. We meet her contact as well, who was trying to get her out of who's going to be
her back to
smuggling
Earth,
her out.
basically.
Well, the deal still stands. No, we can wait on for you again. You want to go? It's I do want to go, but I want to go to the tribunal and bail my girl out. Not that because I like her or anything. No. Just
she done me a solid. I should do her one back.
Just
and
want
also
to pay
I
her
can challenge
back.
my dad to a robot fight, so that works out. Yeah.
Yeah, it still looks fun, just very good as well for the Misfit that you see. This is it's what's important is that there's a lot of character in it now, and they're again a lot less Cyberpunk. I probably isn't doing itself to me as well because they pay attention to the characters, but also the robots also they move. They're animated kind of done quite well. They aren't just kind of CG kind of jokes floating around. Which helps as well to give them. I think it's important as well, to give the sense of actual space and weight and gravity. I want to tourist me, but also how they can convey them, especially in animation. It feels like these are actually big machines stomping around in here. It's good. It's hard to try and restrain yourself a little bit and kind of remain a little one episode offset. As folks are naturally very excited about this. This seems to be the Gundam show for the longest time. It's going to have the widest appeal. I think they're actually trying to really, rather than just market just to Gundam people, we're going to try and market it as well to other fans of other anime as well. Much like what Gundam was intended to be in the first place as a mass market appeal thing for teenagers and things, and people who go to school, but also for old heads who have been into Gundam for so long, they just watch any Gundam as long as it's interesting and can compare it to other things they've already enjoyed.
Yeah.
So that's me.
Yeah, that's market appeal that got cancelled before it could get all its episodes in, and then had a compilation of movies and found its audience there. So yes, hopefully it does a bit better than Gundam Age did in finding a wide range of audiences that actually include children as opposed to just old Gundam fans.
Yeah.
They'll just buy the models. Like that, you don't have to work hard now.
Well, it's worked like because the models were sold out, and they had to replace it with a stack food called like Ariel, like kind of like fucking chickadee type of drugs. But now we have the cross promotion where we have like the Mobile Suit Gundam, which from Mercury branded Ariel like snacks as well. So like if you can't get the model kit, you can always eat the potatoes. It's all right, folks.
Okay.
Righty-ho. I need to speak a little bit louder still, Dwayne. You're still only like half as loud as Niall is.
Like I can hear him fine on our call, but I guess if he's getting picked up properly on the stream, that's a different matter.
Yeah,
I will speak loudly.
You're peaking at -6.
I'm frozen.
Niall,
I've frozen myself. I was talking so loudly.
-12 on Dwayne. So yeah, you're.
Jesus fucking what? Why?
You're a little quiet mouse.
Choo choo.
Then we've got Fuuto PI episode 11, Superhuman R, In Search of a Connection, in which the lads, they're in the Shadow Fuuto, fighting Reactor. That's the fella's name, isn't it?
Reactor, and then a shitload of road dope.
Yes, because you've got loads of roads who eat people and then vomit them up as pavement so they can make Shadow Fuuto bigger.
So not only they reveal that the bone dopants are like the specific cronies of Brachiosaurus, but the road guys also like a generic dude. They're just there's loads of them. Yeah.
Yes, Brachiosaurus. He's a 12-year-old creep.
Oh god, that was disturbing. Yeah. Did not enjoy that.
What a little creep. But then Tamine does some sort of similar sort of telekinesis that the old lady did. With
that's what most important.
When
you feel like you're kind of losing your purpose, just remember to look in your client's face when they first come to you and how much you need your help, and then fun saying, "You're right, I got a job to do here."
Which pays off at the end when she does her like version of Shitaru's thing of like, "I'm a detective's assistant." And doesn't sound as cool, but
she pulls it off.
Yeah.
But that's him following his own advice as well. When they get, they have to fucking get booted out of the Shadow Fuuto, and now they've got no way back in. And he's fucking moping, going, "God damn it, I left her behind. I left everybody behind." And fucking saying, "No way, man. You got to think about this. You got a client out there who's still in the wind. You got to fucking track him down. Can't give up just yet." It's like, that's it, because she's about to fun give a wipe with the slipper, and then she does fun say, "Hey, get out of your head. Get out of your head."
Because he was putting the two the USB sticks beside each other. It's like, what, you thought the power of love would fucking save you if you put it nearby each other? He's like, "No, shut up. I was just gonna mope a little." It's like, well, beat the street. That's how you fucking solve cases. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's right.
Come on, detective, detect already."
Yeah. Meanwhile, Reactor's like, "Road, go and find Tamine and the old man, and don't eat them." And then as they go off, he's basically like, "Oh my goodness, they're going to eat them." Does not have any faith in the roads being able to follow a simple order.
Well,
he does seem the most reasonable of the villains so far. Does Reactor?
Yeah, he's just here to get paid.
Yes, he feels like
he's not buying into their whole scheme.
He's like a foreman on a construction site, is which I guess is the idea.
With a bunch of idiots under him. Yeah.
Snapping those suspenders.
So they go to a shrine where they find the granddaughter, and they're like, "Oh, there's a second shrine that he visits," and they go in there and they find loads and loads.
There's a secret shrine for mechanics behind the regular shrine where people put their prototypes to pray for good luck. It's like, fucking the prototype's probably there. Come on.
Yeah, they find the prototype, take it back. Philip does some calculations in the Gaia library. And he's like, "Okay, yeah, I know what it does, but I'm not going to tell you. I don't know where we need to take it. And that'll get us back into Shadow Fuuto." Job done. Set us up for a conclusion next week.
I wonder what their priest stopping is. Like, priest, this is like highly irregular and probably very sacrilegious, but can you pick up on this shrine? Okay, all right. Whatever, I gotta check and see if we can excommunicate you from this. I don't know.
I appreciate they didn't show that, but to show them rushing towards the second shrine, the priest is like, "Hang on I'm an old man." He's just like out of breath the whole time. It's great, yeah.
The design of the device is wonderfully weird.
It's like an engine that's meant to look like a human heart or something.
Yes,
it's great.
Looking forward to the conclusion. This has been a very solid extension of Kamen Rider into a cartoon. Golden Kamuy, Season 4, Episode 2, Cocoon, in which our detective hero, our unlucky warden, who has to rely on other people to actually put together the clues after he voices them.
Come on, Katakura, you got a client out there. Do you need your help?
Looks like this case has gone cold again after he receives a bunch of other clues that would help him solve this case. Fucking guy.
Yes, so he's trying to track down the poisoner. Eventually, he gives up, goes back home, and the poisoner delivers a message in the form of Hijikata's swords. Meanwhile, Ishiyama has awoken because they didn't poison him enough. But he's still in a fugue state. So the little rich boy who's been ice skating makes him his pet. Called Pussy
Have you ever
Monster.
seen like a show where like a kid finds a giant robot and it's like, I love you, giant Gorg, or that kind of thing? It's like that, but
it's straight out of the Violence Jack Mazinger arc.
Okay.
Where the Keiji Kabuto version rides a tall martial artist as Mazinger on his shoulders.
The unfortunate
Jim
thing is
Mazinger, I think.
Yes, his name is Jim Mazinger. Yes.
Kind of like your old giant robots, like your giant robos and stuff. He is monosyllabic, but he can only say the word pussy because that's the thing he's really looking for. So it's like, your name's Pussy, huh? Well, I guess I'm going to call you Pussy Monster because that's a logical name for a child to say several times in this episode. It's very fucking funny.
But he gets confused. He keeps him in his little house. He just go, "Hey, Pussy," he goes, "Meow."
It's so good, man. Yeah.
Yeah, because it plays out like, oh, he's this pet he found. He can't take him home because he'll be in trouble with his parents. And then it turns out...
And he has to feed him dried peaches, which suspiciously look like the thing that he is named after.
It turns out his pet's more dangerous than he thought, and so he has to drown him.
Like he tries to beat, like, yeah, get him, Pussy Monster, beat up my bullies. And then he's like about to murder 3 children. He's like, oh Jesus, I need to fucking, this guy is, this can't be. I'm sorry, Pussy. I'm sorry, old yeller. I gotta put you down. Tricks him into diving. He's actually an amazing skater. Is the other thing. Tricks him into skating into an ice hole, basically.
We get a little history of skating as well.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Because that will be important later to establish the skating, because they've got their plan. Their
plan is to fuck up the plan.
It is.
Based on this detective, that's an excellent fucking plan. So he's going to meet him in the middle of this lake, so that it's like a 1 kilometer around, so no sniper could make that shot. And he's going to ask you to take off all your clothes. It's like, hey, can I borrow your knife? It's like, that's my father's knife. It's very important. Where are you going to hide it? It's like, I'm just going to like bring this with me, so I got a bit of protection. It's like, yeah, where are you going to hide it? It's like, not in my ass. I swear.
Well, clenched between his cheeks.
I mean, it's right next to his butt, and he's been.
The poisoner calls him out immediately. Got a knife close to your butt cheeks, don't you? Because you kind of all tensed up by that, aren't you? No. Maybe you two.
The plan was to fuck it up so he'd run, but then make him think that Kira was behind him, but is in fact at the other end of the lake of where he's going to run to, which is all going to go well, except Ishiyama emerges from the ice through a fishing hole.
Having regained his memory through anger.
Yeah. Which sends him off in a different direction, and Katakura tries to grab hold of him, gets dragged across the ice on his naked body.
Yeah, he gets an awful dick scraping. There's a great shot of him picking up later one of those little cocoons, as in the title, and it covers his penis. The way it's framed, I was like, that's very funny. Just as like, he's a little tiny dick because it's very cold out.
Yes.
Good joke.
Yeah, so they find the cocoon and they figure, they must be hiding them in the silk farms. And there's one at that end of the
way and one that way. And I figured the detective was going to pick the wrong one, but no, just his luck, he picked the right one.
Yes, and so he invites him to a game where they've got this device which they use for sexing silkworms by weighing them. And on one side of this spinning contraption will be a cocoon which he's put one of 4 different types of poisons in.
Yeah, it's like a little roulette wheel. So the you take the one with on one side, and on the opposite side is nothing, and on one side is deadly poison. So all you have to do is pick the right one, and I'll eat the opposite one. And regardless, I'll let your man go. I promise, sailors, promise. Yeah.
Yes. So Kadakura picks one, and then he's like, "Well, my bad luck's going to poison me, but what the hell?" And indeed, he is poisoned, and it's like. But as he's dying, before he dies, the other guy's going to tell him his story, which is perhaps one of the shortest flashbacks one of these criminals has given us as to why he's the way he is.
Based off how short it was, I was like, this guy isn't fucking lasting any time.
Which essentially, him and his daughter get hit by lightning. He survives. His daughter is killed in an incredibly gruesome manner, and so he's dedicated his life to trying to find out whether God exists by pushing people into these sort of 50-50 chances of death. So then Kadakura starts dying. He's like, "Oh, it's 10 minutes. That must be the wolfsbane. I'll go and let your man Hijikata out."
It's like, wait, how long do I got left? It's like, I don't know. You're probably going to die painfully for like half an hour. And he's like, I'm going to eat some more poison.
Because he's like,
like, at least I'll die quicker then.
Because he's got off to get Hijikata because he's like, oh, well, I could use him again. I can keep him and I can use him to get the other group's skins as well.
It's a good thing I studied to be in an alchemy. Seller. Yeah, a medicine seller. When I was young, and the guy helpfully explains, it's like, if you eat this poison, that's bad. But if you eat 2 of this other poison, then that counteracts it. And when I searched that, all the searches were basing off this episode. People going like, is that fucking real? It's like, probably not. No. It worked in animal tests, but that's not the same thing as people tests, is my understanding.
Yes. So it was the idea that Fugu and wolfsbane counteract each other. So the 2 pellets that Kagakura took, hoping to end himself quicker, turned out to be 2 Fugu pellets. He could have taken the arsenic or the strychnine, but because he was attempting to kill himself and he's so unlucky, he brought himself back to life.
His luck was trying to kill him harder, but in this case, that was the one cure.
The narrator is very careful to point out that Hijikata did this deliberately, unlike Kadakura,
who was trying to kill himself quicker.
It's bad luck. It's so bad. It throws back around to being good.
Yes. Yeah. So our poison seller is like fucking dead, and they got a new skin, and everything's going their way. And they have a discussion about
he's bleeding out through his ear in the snow, and he's like, "Oh, you both survived. God does exist," and then passes away.
And they have a little discussion. It's like, yeah, he was trying to prove if God was real and shit. Like, do you think he was like God's real and that kind of shit? It's like, I don't give a fuck. I only care about shit on the world. I got another skin. That one step closer to the gold. Everything's going my way.
I think I would like one to watch Hijikata's group a lot because it's one of the bigger ones and it has like the most endearing like weirdos thing. Because you got Ushiyama, you got Hijikata himself, you got dudes like from like Tony Angie, with his weird kind of cup like sonar fucking like detection things, and a few other dudes. So just having a story just be about them and their antics was kind of nice.
We'll soon be getting a character which we've met in another anime, Dwayne. So we'll be joining their group temporarily.
Another historical person, hooray!
Yes. Drawn a little bit more like what he looked like historically, as opposed to how we saw him drawn in a different series. Yeah, they do. It's like they're a mix of weirdos and also some of the most sensible people as well.
It's a weird combination of that. Yeah.
Because
they're just really good at what they do to naturally like Ushiyama is a really good like judo dude to the extent that he has killed people with judo.
But he rescues a young boy who's hung up by a string in this episode by not taking him down or cutting the string, but by wrestling the tree into submission. So it's not the most sensible motherfuckers ever either. Yeah.
Yes, but they do have Nagakura, who is perhaps the most sensible person in the series. Though, of course, he is still hunting for the gold, so that means not entirely sensible.
No.
As it really does feel like as it goes along, as we'll see, that the madness that the gold causes will ramp up.
Yeah. Well, in the most recent volume was like published in English, you got the title drop. You can find out what that actually means. Like, Yeah. Maybe like some Kamuys, aren't as benevolent. Maybe
Hmm.
Golden Kamuy is one of them.
Yeah, I always think of like the Ecstasy of Gold track by
Yeah,
Morricone as
yeah.
like
Oh, especially so with the dude that fucking
criminals.
Fujimoto and that's where we're going into next.
One of the next criminals, yes.
Hmm.
Fun to come as we hunt down this gold. Then it's Chainsaw Man episode 1, Dog and Chainsaw. It's the first chapter of Chainsaw Man, only not quite as good.
Yeah,
in my
folks
opinion.
should really not get too attached to that dog because you ain't going to see him until the very, 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 very end of this particular
Yes.
I've seen the plushes of the dog doing around. It's
storyline.
like that looks like a really great plush. It's just like it's not really going to be like a character.
Enjoy it while it lasts. You won't see it for long.
Yeah, it's got a very good opening.
Oh, the opening is a lot of fun. Yeah.
The episode animation, I feel, would suit Dan better than it suits Chainsaw Man.
Okay.
Because I was looking, particularly the fight at the end. I was like, this doesn't feel right, and it's not just the CG model with its weird flickering image to represent the chainsaw blade going around. It's in the fight in the comic, you don't really see much of the warehouse, whereas the fight here, it feels like it's very well lit and you're seeing the warehouse all the goddamn time.
You need to be able to see what's happening in the scene, whereas in the comic, it's just like, this is a spooky warehouse with no lights on at night. Yeah.
It's just like from the tableau of horror, the vision of hell, as he carves through this like masses of bodies, and their entrails are getting splattered everywhere, and this thing, with this fucking chainsaw face and his gnarly teeth is like you can tell it's obviously like very angry and snarly, but also maybe kind of like enjoying like one carving through all these zombies. Like taking like a perverse glee in it.
It may work better in some of the later scenes when they start doing stuff outdoors, but it also, I was like, wasn't this funnier? That was the other thing I was thinking as I was watching it.
I was trying to remember, was the first chapter like super tragic and then it gets funny once we get to the group? That kind of way?
Yeah, I can't remember. Anyway, my feeling is I need to cut stuff, and this is getting the chop for me. I can't watch this every week.
That's fair, because like the problem is it's kind of like we were having up to a point with My Hero Academia where it's like we're reading the comic, it's like, are we good? We're good reading the comic? That kind of way.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with this, is just like the comic's fucking excellent, and this doesn't look bad by any fucking stretch. It's just like we have lots of other things, and we didn't already enjoy reading the comics, so do we need to watch the same thing again? I'm curious as to what the other characters do or what they do with a certain scene or that kind of thing, so it's worth checking in on for sure.
Yeah, the acid test for this will be, what tone will they strike when what's the name of the Dewey's partner with the real fucking downer man? I've forgotten his name now because he's
yeah.
He's not been in the comic for a very long time. There's the front interaction is, I'm gonna kick you fucking square in the nuts. And that's like how sold now, fun, just like, we're supernatural devil hunters. We got a job to do. But I hate you. Nuts. What tone will they strike with that? Will they go for like the comic, the kind of scenic, very blunt punchline or kick line, if you want to call it that, that's meant to be. And then of course, when they get power in, and she's the foil, then that they can play off of. It depends what tone they're going to strike with that. The opening does a very good job with mocking man when she turns up putting proportions up the end. It's like, yeah, there's something not off with her. She seems to be like taking him in and going to set him up with a job and going to mind him. But there's something pretty off about her, So it does a good job of like conveying that.
Yeah.
But it does have that very bizarre sense of humor, where it has kind of like Golden Kamuy in a way. This fucking absolute horrors being inflicted upon like people and demons, everything else in between. But it takes time for this like just some real dumbass like bits.
Yeah, I think the golden ball imagery in the opening was also the reason that he brought Dan to mind, because that's the ongoing plot is recovering the main character's testicles. The initial plot is recovering his penis, and once they get the penis back, he hadn't realised that he'd also had his testicles stolen at the same time.
Because like this first episode from the first chapter of Chainsaw Man, like it's the super tragedy of himself, because it's just like, I've had to sell my eye and one of my kidneys and one of my balls just to fucking keep my head over water. I got to fight devils for a living.
Yes.
That sucks. And it's just like everything fucking sucks. And it's like we haven't gotten to the fun part yet, where he's allowed to eat jam for breakfast and that kind of thing. So
Yes, which I guess is the opposite way of Edgerunners, which it starts off bad, then gets fun, and then goes downhill again.
yeah.
Which I guess Chainsaw Man will do the same thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to put anybody off from watching it, but
No,
stuff
by
needs
no
to get
means.
cut. Stuff needs to get cut.
Yeah.
Particularly because something's coming to Disney Plus on November the 9th.
And folks are even like complaining about now and saying, I've heard so much about this. No, this seems like fucking like average fucking like, you know, if you better not go to fucking like demon hunting school next time, I'll be so pissed. It's just, well,
no, it's
not quite.
I think there is a little bit of overhype as well from. I think there's also there's definitely people like me and the manga readers who are like, yeah, it's not as good as the comic, and then there's people who are like, don't be so hard on it. And I was like, no, you can be a little hard on it. But again, it's not terrible. That's the thing. It's not terrible.
No,
it's just
it's not.
It's the particular things I like about the comic I'm not seeing in the anime.
We were talking about this the whole time. It was just like, we really like the comic and we really like these parts of it. Can you turn that into an animation? I feel like you can't. I feel like that's impossible.
I think you can. There's a glimpse of it in the opening when he's emerging from that, like the black ball of darkness.
Yeah, it's kind of just like really kind of wibbly. It's like one like that.
Yeah. That one shot, I was like, oh, that's what I want this to look like all the time. And from what people have been talking about Mob Psycho, is like, I guess it's just really hard to make something look like the comic, because that's apparently scared animators off trying to get them working on Mob Psycho. It's basically saying it's too hard to make it look great and also look like the comic. But when you try and it works, God, you get results, as we'll talk about in a moment.
Well, you get Mob Psycho, don't you?
Yes, but before we get to Mob Psycho, Dwayne can tell us all about Human Crazy University 2, a lucky coin that leads to death. Lives perish adrift for 48 days.
Yeah, good title. It covers most of it, actually. So basically, the doc is like, hey, I brought a bunch of things from your prior life to try and to jog your memory. And he's playing with some clackers from like the 90s the entire time. And he's like, I don't know, a lot of this stuff seems a little familiar. Oh, that's the lucky charm my girlfriend gave me. And she's like, oh, this is because you have such bad luck. You wear this lucky charm when you're going on like your overseas business trip. And he's like, absolutely, thanks, honey. And he remembers going on the business trip with this guy who's like a food explorer. He goes to exotic places to eat exotic things, and the guy's taking him on his yacht, and they're fishing off the yacht. And the whole time I was thinking, is this guy into him? Because he seems like he's very, very gay, and he's just like, hey, take off that necklace your girlfriend gave you. I don't want you wearing that shit. And it's like, come on, eat this penis fish with me. That's right. It's called penis fish. It looks like a wiggly little pink fish. You're supposed to eat it whole while it's wiggling and alive. And I'm just like, this is weird. This whole thing is weird. But yeah, a whale comes up, knocks into their ship. Their ship sinks, so they're stuck on a life raft. And they're like, well, I guess we're going to have to survive on a life raft. And they panic at several times because they keep running out of water. Your man tries to stab sharks with a harpoon. He accidentally stabs their own boat, as the narrator explains. It's like, shark attacks are really fucking rare. You don't have to worry about that. Panicking at sea, that's your fucking problem. Eventually, he sees a fishing boat after several fucking days of just trying to survive in this thing, and starts waving his girlfriend's lucky charm at it, because he remembered, oh, that glinted in the light. I'll fucking catch their attention with that because they can't hear me. And the fishermen do see that. But then your man's like, he's asleep because he's unconscious from not drinking enough water. And he's like, no, don't fucking do that, because then a garfish from undersea sees the light and goes up and stabs him like right through the neck and through the other side. And the fishermen are like, holy shit. It's like, but the fisherman knew not to take it out because then he'd bleed out. So they get him to land, and his girlfriend's like, oh, thank goodness, I'm so glad you're okay. And he's like, wow, I remember all that shit. I don't want to remember murdering my girlfriend. That I feel like I don't want to get these memories back. The end. I'm enjoying this. This is fun. It's pointing out all these facts. It's like, hey, remember Mengele? Here's the test you did in the saltwater, fucking just feeding people saltwater. See how quickly they die. And I was just like, Jesus, cartoon, you're throwing a lot of fucked up facts at me right now. It's weird. It's a weird fucking show, and it is barely fucking animated. So there's that as well.
It's educational cartoon.
Yeah,
Doesn't
very
need
much
to be.
For salarymen. It feels like it's a salaryman cartoon.
It's going to be like interesting facts you can bring up over lunch and shit.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm the very kind of boring person who's into that. So yeah. There you go.
We can't all be fucking Itagaki and just like work this into grappler backy somehow, and it'd be a fighting style.
Yeah.
So we gotta figure out another avenue. It's like, okay.
Here's everything I know about how you can die at sea in one episode. Yeah.
Mob Psycho 103, episode 2, Yokai Hunter Amokasu Haruaki appears, the threat of 100 demons. In this episode, Yokai Hunter Amokasu Haruaki appears. There is also a threat of 100 demons, and Mob must make the costumes for the school cultural festival. That's the word.
Festival.
Yeah, and the other 3 guys he's been put with are just like, we just put sheets over. It's a fucking haunted house. It's just ghosts, and they're like, they're half-assing it. I don't want to half-ass it though.
Oh, should we probably do a better job? I don't know. I don't want everybody to get mad at me. Oh no.
Yeah, I did like how they're like, well, yes, the two of them, the laziest 2 are like, yeah, we should just do sheets with holes in. Then the 3rd guy, who I can't remember where he's been in it before.
He's been in it before. Yeah.
And he's like, it looks like he's going to get mad at them, and then he's like, no, that's
you
a great
too. Idea. That's a great idea. You're genius.
Yeah, think of the lack of work we have to do. I'm not even sure we have a budget for this. So yeah, that's a great idea.
And there's Bob's like, we should do something more. And they go, okay, Bob, what's your idea? And then he just goes,
just panic. That's the thing that increases his percentage, not the monster fighting that he's going to do later in the episode. That's all inspiration for the haunted house. It's like, oh, that's pretty cool. We could do that. Yeah. As he's walking around a haunted house. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Reagan and I can remember his name by 4th episode, hopefully.
Serizawa.
Yeah. They're just pottering around waiting for their next client when a weirdo shows up. He's a yokai hunter. He needs their assistance in fighting 100 demons who are trying to bring back the great demon
He wasted all his good intro energy out in the street, prepping for himself. I'm going to the door and go up and say, I'm the yokai hunter, Amokusa Haraki. He comes in, I'm a yokai. Oh shit, I did it wrong.
Yeah, my voice came out. I appreciated like your man, like Reagan looking out the window and was like, oh yeah, he's gonna get arrested by the cops now. The cops like asking him, is like, sir, do you have a permit for that sword that you're wearing? That kind of shit. This is like fantastic. Fucking job done, but he did not get arrested by the cops.
He comes back. He said, "Why don't you just ask the police to help you?" Well, they'll arrest me for having a sword. And then Reagan's very rude to him until he puts down 1,000,000 yen to become his consultant.
Would 1,000,000 yen cover your fee? It's just like, yes, it like definitely would. We're on the case.
He's like, my parents are very rich and they support me in my endeavors.
Dear.
Of course they do. Yeah, who else would put up with this? The mob is like, Mob, thank you here. Actually, I want to ask your advice, Sensei, about one thing. Hang on, Mob, we got a job to do. I need your help on this. Okay. Can I ask you advice? It's okay, Mob, come on. Time's wasting.
So yes, there is a house.
Spooky building.
Full of
yokai. These are knocking, because before he has fought some monsters before. Some yokai, but he fought them one-on-one for 3 days and 3 nights, and he eventually fucking won with his sword that he got off eBay for a fucking steal.
And that was just a little one. It's just like a little fucking, I don't know, the thing that's, you know...
Like a dimple-looking motherfucker. Where is Dimple, anyway? We'll get back to that. But yeah, this is the king of the demons with his 100 demon army and his demon generals, and this is his base, so I'm kind of like, I might be in over my head here, lads. But I think
Haru, I guess why he might annoy Reagan is essentially he is Reagan but with supportive parents
and money
and money. Yes, he has no powers and yet he's fighting the supernatural. But instead, what Reagan has are 2 psychics who, yes, there are indeed 100 demons. There are 4 demons in charge, and they've already brought back the Great Demon Lord, who turns the 4 generals into his body and then instantly gets destroyed.
And now they're all dead.
You get to
It's
see the
like-
4 generals taken out in a really cool fucking sequence, but the Demon Lord is just like, yeah, you know this guy's fucked as well, right? It's Mob and our other guy who are both very powerful psychics. Like the guy's using business cards as a giant
Yeah,
psychic
so
sword.
it's
that
really
was
good.
his thing, like, you know, because he had the umbrella before. I guess he can turn anything like he's holding
Into
it
a
like
sword.
a psychic weapon to
Or
slash himself
shield,
with.
as he does here as well. It's really just a lot
The
of fun,
umbrella.
inventive stuff. But Mob's like writing all this down. It's like slime on the walls. Oh, that's fucking brilliant. What if we tried to exorcise the demon? Like, so it's you're interacting with the fucking ghost house. Oh, this is all good shit. He's just like
That's a
taking
cool,
note
that's a
of
cool
everything.
design there. The great yokai lord. You know, yeah, that's pretty alright. You know, I might want to jot some of that down. It's pretty good.
Like Reagan's also taking notes because he's really bothered that no one's visiting the website. It's not really getting as many hits on his little website visitor counter. So his thing is just like defeated the great demon lord. Like he's gonna put that on the thing. It has red eyes and sharp teeth.
This'll come rolling in now.
It's got a cool little animatic and stars come down the screen. It's great.
Anyways, Mob, that's the job done. What's a problem you've had? It's okay, Sensei. I think I might have figured something out. I gotta go. I got ideas for it. My little man's grown up. He figured out something for himself. Oh, it's amazing. That's really good.
It's kind of like he's scared. He's like, wait, Mob figured it out on his own.
Probably
He doesn't need me, Reagan.
Yeah,
The most
exactly.
important character.
He goes to school and saying, lads, come in tomorrow morning. We gotta try and do something. I got some ideas. It'd be really good, I promise. And they put it together, and it's just like, you know, we was gonna make a monster out of cardboard. No sewing involved. Just trying to throw it together with that. And
No one
you know,
thought it was great, but nobody complained, and they all felt really satisfied with the end
Yes.
product. So, win-win.
The C plot was Ritsu thinking that the school council are going too far.
It's like, that's very salacious. A fucking cross-dressing maid bar. What the fuck? And they're like, gotta do
we're
it.
making too much noise with the concert. You know, what will the neighbors think? We'll get complaints.
So I don't know if
That's some
that's
of the-
going anywhere beyond the final punchline of
By
Ritsu.
just
had to
a
be dressed as
gag,
a
you know.
maid, Yeah.
Yeah. Of his
Um,
friend showing up is like, you look great in those frills, bro.
Oh yes, yeah. The
Hmm.
the son of the villain from the previous arc. Yes.
Yeah, we see a
that's
few
his
of
name.
the guys from the prior arc hanging around the school because they all go to school. They're all kids. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Still putting up posters for the psychic helmet cult. No, we'll have their inaugural meeting next episode.
Yes, because that's what had attracted the yokai to Seasoning City in the first place. was
Yeah,
the,
because that big broccoli tree, it's like seems to be spreading its roots around, you know, because it actually was inside the yokai-filled building as well.
Yeah.
So that may have been spurred their summoning to it as well.
Then we got Akiba Maid War, episode 2, Gambling
still more.
Adorocalypse Yumichi,
Uh,
in which the manager still hasn't. She thinks everything's great, and then it turns out it's not great because they still didn't get the sweets money. Now she has to act as a T at the golf course.
Like, as your man explained, it's like, I wanted you to send one of your maids there so they'd kill them, and we get to kill them honorably in retribution. But you just went in and slaughtered them all, which is not our plan, even though it does work out for us anyway. But it doesn't look as good for us, so you still owe us the money.
Goes to a loan shark, gets some money. It's not enough, so he offers them a chance to go to a special maid casino for maids where you can gamble what you've just borrowed and try and make more.
Oh yeah, all kinds of maids go there all the time, so that it won't be any fucking trouble. And this isn't a setup that I'm fucking working with them or anything.
So they
No.
do that, and yes, apparently you get taken to the squid room if you don't have enough. You've spent all your money. They get
apparently, if you can't pay it back, they put you on deadliest catch.
Yeah.
yes, it's kaiji essentially. You'll be turned
Very
into
much
slave
so.
labor. The sort of work
You still have to
that-
wear the maid outfit, obviously, on the ship doing the crab
Yes,
catching.
in the Bering Sea in the middle of winter.
the sort of work Iruma used to do happily when he was on Earth. Yeah, so they all play poker. They all lose until it's just Yumechi and it's Ranko, isn't it? That's the 35-year-old maid. Yumechi takes the cash off the chips off Ranko as well.
You trust me with your chips, I trust you with my chips and my life. So yeah, let's
she's the only one of the maids who seems to know how to play poker. and she
Yeah.
spots that they're cheating, but still loses anyway. And so they all get put into the cage to be sent to the squid room, and then Ranko just shoots the
Let's just shoot our way out.
in the head.
Murder our way out of the situation.
And
Yeah.
also, meanwhile, the panda has been filling bags with gas downstairs.
That's definitely a dude in a suit.
It's a suit. Yeah,
It's
because
100%.
always a game.
Yeah, exactly.
For human like actions when it's moving around.
Dear.
And yes, they murder loads of people and then blow the casino up. And they still don't have their sweets money because it's all on fire.
It was like all the money came out of the slot machine from earlier, but it's like it's all on fire, so it's useless.
I was like, oh, shit. Oh, maybe this is like, each of them show like, what they bring to this like dark maid mafia outfit. It's like one, right?
They're the animal maid thing. They're one of the branches of the animal maids. I think is their thing.
Like Ranko's like like the gunman, so she's shooting this down. Then when she's like the gambler, she's on the TV and saying, yeah, I know a little bit, but if I'm fucked, I'm fucked. So we're just gonna need to lean on you, Ranko, to get us out of another jam.
Get us into and out of another jam. Yeah.
It was funny, but I was also at the end. I was like, it kind of just gave me the same beats of humor that I got from the last episode.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm not sure I need to watch it every week.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dwayne's frozen a manic face this time.
In shock.
I mean, like, it's a little better than me being very stern, so I'll take it. I'll stick with that for the rest of the episode.
Yes, we've got one episode left. Neuroscience Sura, episode 1. Young Love on the Run, Between a Rock and a Hard Place. Have you seen the original Neuroscience Sura? If you have, you've seen these two stories before. If you've seen them, if you watch them as many times as I've seen them, it summons them in your mind just watching these ones. It's like, oh great, I'm just seeing the episode I've already seen as well as seeing this episode on the screen somehow. So if you've not seen Neuroscience Sura, here is the central plot. Aliens invade the Earth. They're going to take over unless a guy they've picked from all of Earth's population can beat the alien leader's daughter in a game of tag, which takes place over a week. All he's got to do is grab hold of her horns, and the Earth is saved. The guy they've picked, the unluckiest boy on the planet Earth, Ataru Moroboshi. He promises his girlfriend Shinobu that if he manages to win, they can get married. And that he has a very hard time beating Lum until he stills her bra, and so she has to cover herself up, and that gives him the opportunity to grab the horns. And he says, hooray, I've won, I can get married. And then Lum misreads that and says, you want to marry me? Excellent, I'll marry you. And that is your setup for the entire series.
Hijinks ensue.
Yes, a horny 17-year-old boy who's now engaged to a horny 17-year-old alien girl, and his 17-year-old girlfriend is not happy about this. And then more weirdos will show up each week, but not in the next half because they've chosen a story which only involves Shinobu, Lum, and Ataru, which is where they keep on talking to each other over a three-way chat over the phones, which causes a Bermuda Triangle to form. And do things disappear in it? I can't remember exactly.
Well, lots of lightning starts falling on him and blowing shit up.
Oh, that's it. Yes, and then he struggles to see.
But that's kind of like Lum kind of cranking the lever to. It's like, oh, you fucking ignore me? Will you talk to your girlfriend? Will you? I'll show you. Buzz, buzz, buzz.
Yes. So that's it. You're so sorry. It's got an opening which weirdly takes place in the present, whereas the episodes take place in the 1980s.
But so far anyway, I don't know, like, because with that thing with the phones,
the TVs, I guess CRTV would.
I guess not to wanting to adapt the comic like a lot more close. I didn't think it was going to be like that close though, because you could have just as easily done that whole telephone bit like with mobile phones as well.
I didn't really see the need for it either. Like, to modernize it without using the same visual kind of interface. If you wanted to keep the colorfulness of the phones, just make that their phone covers or something.
Yeah, but then again, like all of that is back in vogue now because you want to have
That's
like
true.
the CRT TV. It puts the retro games up in the proper resolution. It's authentic, and like I wouldn't mind. If I had to have like the phone in the house and I'm about to move in. From the old dog and bone, that's like it's got an appeal for me as well. So everything old is new again. All comes circling back around.
I think it needs to take place in the 80s because I'm sure there's plots which will be ruined if you had a smartphone.
No characters though, so you could do that.
The old horror movie conundrum. Yeah.
Yes, you need.
They constantly don't have reception, so they have to use a landline.
You need Lum and the other alien characters to have a certain ignorance about Earth, and that's easier to maintain when there's not like an easy way of just looking something up. I think you need their technology to appear more powerful than Earth technology, which I guess it might still do because we don't yet have a candy that you can feed a swift and turn it into a penguin. I hope they do that episode, but if they do, it'll be without me watching it because I'm not going to watch any more of this, except when Mendo shows up, and I will watch it then.
Yeah, I get what you mean about it's going to that comic like a lot more closely. It's a new studio, and it's a very a studio that really like a lot of what they've done. They make JoJo for God's sake. Lots of fun, talent, different styles and things going on there.
Like I really liked the look of this. I thought like the way that Lum's hair was rendered was really nice, and the way the electricity goes. And I was just like, this looks really nice. But you probably already watched this, or you've likely watched this before.
It's just like they have their own like opening and ending kind of theme songs, their own kind of thing. But then they use like motifs that riff on the old theme song of it as well. So it's just like you can probably do it because the first one is kind of cute, ha ha ha. Whereas I think it needs some time to kind of carve out its own identity, and I hope it does.
For sure.
Otherwise, why are we here really?
Yeah, my worry is that identity is very little 10, and lots more of Lum's gal pals, which is definitely what the opening would suggest.
Though I see any of the trailers as well.
I do see now that they've got the big image where they're being chased, and that does mean that 10's right on there on the webpage when you first look at the page. Okay. Have they announced who's playing 10 yet? Or are they still only at the parents?
It's just like the kind of the one at the older series now. It was bringing like some other kind of ideas in there. The fun brought in from the outside into it and making up with that. I wouldn't want it to be the case where our main frame of reference for making this like wonderful cartoon is just the old cartoon. Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to add in or bring to it? Because they taunt you, and it could make for a good thing. Yes. You just need to have like a solid writer of in the opening fun saying, put at what would he be like on Tinder? Because he's swiping left on Lum 5 times in a row. He would never do that. He'd be fun. Yes, get them all in.
No, he already lives with us. No, he wouldn't. He would never. He's always trying to escape. I do.
He didn't quit it, baby.
The other thing is that the backgrounds don't feel as usefully cartoonish as the original. That's the other thing which struck me. And I don't know whether that will change, but it felt like a lot of the backgrounds in the original would change as the show required. So like if you needed to put more people in a room, the room would be bigger. Whereas
I get what you mean. Like in this one you had the opening, the Independence Day thing where over London, over the skies, like it's very realistically rendered rather than that stretchy cartooniness that you can change reality as is necessary for the scene.
I think those ships always looked a bit Chris Fossey in the original, and I was like, I was a little disappointed they didn't look quite so much like a Chris Foss rip off this time. But it's like Chainsaw Man. It's not bad, but I don't see the need for me to watch it.
Just like I would want to make time for it. I suppose I can make time for it down the line. But it was just there's so much wedged in right now,
Yeah.
and
Yes,
Yeah, for
yes.
sure.
a good portion of it are things been waiting for a bit.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, right, one we would bemoan like, oh, it's a series full of sequels, but it's usually what sequels have tank. So I don't mind being pandered to, as long as it's being pandering to me.
Yeah. And
Sure,
there's a series that I suspect is going to be very Yurosura influenced that's coming up on Disney Plus on November the 9th. That I think will provide me a little bit more thrills than this does.
Yeah. Given points for putting like Toshio Furukawa and Fumi Hirano as Ataru's parents now. So it's like, you get the old voice
That is
actors.
awesome, yeah.
No, isn't Fumi Hirano playing Lum's mum? I believe.
Oh, I'm just getting me mixed up
Yeah.
now. Like,
Yes.
No, but you can kind of hear it in the dad's performance, like, because he's doing like a little bit of the panicky voice that the son is doing, but
Yeah,
not
it's-
doing the same character. It's nice. It feels like they're related because he played them when he was
Yes,
younger.
yeah. Toshi Furukawa is Ataru's father, but it is
yeah.
Keiko
Okay, yeah,
Toda.
that's a good way of doing
Keiko Toda is Ataru's mother.
it. Okay, cool.
I did notice the one person announced for the new Nishimura Oshi show who was on Vlad Love is I can't remember her name. She plays Yor in
Oh yeah,
Spy
yeah, from
Family.
like
but she
she's
played
pretty good.
played the Mendao character in Vlad Love. I was like, okay, yes, so you definitely want to cast the one you gave loads of monologues to in your previous show into your next show because you probably have a load of monologues you need to give somebody.
And she's got good kind of range as well because she played Yumeko in Kakigururi, and she did very good. Oh, I have a nice plight, girl, until I start gambling and then I go crazy. That kind of range.
Yes,
Yeah.
they just put the new trailer up for that, the first trailer up for that show, which is a post-apocalyptic where humans have become more flammable. Is the
Oh,
the
dear.
It's a
gist
brief
of the
glimpse of our
story.
climate apocalypse. Yeah.
So that's it for this week. So I think I'm going to cut out of my life Yurosura, Akiba Maid War, Chainsaw Man, Human Crazy University will still remain cut out. I think that will be it for now because we'll have some natural erosion coming as well.
Yeah. Until like some of these like other like until like the two kind of shuffled off and we're done with them. I would be content like for some of these things. I'll continue watching them, but maybe I will just keep it in store until like we have more room for them, and I might put them in there then. Because otherwise, we're going to be doing every week I might count tier 2 and something hour recording.
Jeez.
I don't know about you, but I got Drag Race and Bake Off to watch as well. So hey, I gotta make time. Also, I must cook and eat food and go to my job and you know.
Yes,
there is other things in life as well. Yeah. I might keep up on Human Crazy University. It's a very weird thing that I enjoy. But I mean, like I might keep up on that in my own time, dependent. God, there's so much needing to be chopped.
Two other shows that I want to watch and I did not get around to watching. So
yeah.
Actually, no, 4 of the shows.
Jeez Louise.
7 for Christmas or something.
Okay,
some kind of thing, you know, when you're when you're not going anywhere or doing anything, and you're I don't know.
Yeah, DIY, Bocce the Rock, Bleach, and Blue Lock. Those were the other things I wanted to check out.
I forgot to watch Blue Lock. Yeah, I meant to check that out as well. Yeah.
Anyway, that's it.
Okay.
Niall's got to feed himself. He's got to go to work.
It's okay. Yeah, but to do all those things is too much. Luckily, I already made food tonight, so I don't have to worry about that.
Let's end the podcast right now. Bye for now.